You coming with us upstairs?
There you go, Sonny. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
The easy way.
Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey chapter 272. It is the second day of the week, aka the special beam cannon workout. I am feeling pretty good. Very excited to get this workout done. But anyways, back to the main subject matter for today, which is the hard way, which is kind of broad, but it's more so about the idea that people will only learn a hard way. There is no easy learning for some people, unfortunately. And I've mentioned it a couple of times depending on the episode and a few things here and there, but I think that most people, once I say this, you kind of understand it. But I want to talk more about it because I don't think it is a concept that everybody really gets / understands that they're probably going to have to deal with somewhere in their life at a certain point. And it's something that happens to everybody. I don't think that anybody's immune to it. It's the easy way or the hard way. But the thing is, there is never an easy way. The easy way is an illusion. It's always the hard way. And most people don't realize that. It's very unfortunate that most people don't realize that because then they try to find shortcuts to go to the easy side. But it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. No matter what you're doing, there's always consequences to each action. So most of the time people don't realize that they're going to have to go through the hard way. But we will get more into that, plus a few other things that come along with this because I feel like some people never realize they have to go through it in order to get through the other side. So it is something to really talk about because there's a lot that you can go into this because I feel like there are people I know that haven't gone through it. There are people I know who have gone through it. There are people who are that I know who are going through it right now. It all just depends. But it is something that I think that no one is immune to. There are two things that people aren't immune to: the hard way and time. That's it. These are the only two things that everybody has to deal with. Those who may say, oh, but what if you have somebody living on Easy Street, like they maybe have an inheritance or something like that? They have a different set of the hard way in a weird way. Obviously, they don't have to worry about that, but they have to worry about other things that not necessarily the normal person has to worry about, which we'll probably discuss in the voiceover. But with that being said, I will see you above the race. All right, so started this day off with squats, which were pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand here. The hard way. So the main reason why I wanted to talk about this was because I have a very good feeling that a lot of people don't actually realize that they're going to have to go through the hard way. A very unfortunate reality about life is that the easy way or things, the shortcuts or anything like that is all mostly an illusion for the most part. There are certain things that will make things a little easier, money, drugs, things like that. Shortcuts to make it so you get to the end goal quicker. But the issue with that is, and this is most of the time what happens, is that once you get to the end goal using those shortcuts, you haven't really learned anything, and or you have paid some type of price here or there. I will use an example of this, let's say, in this realm here, steroids would be the shortcut to the end goal here. But in reality, if you look at a lot of the people who end up abusing steroids, besides the fact that they end up using their end of life years up basically because of it, they technically sometimes, a lot of the time, don't know what the hell they're doing in the gym. Realistically, the drugs are taking over and doing everything because they just never learned how to train without them. Thus, it kind of takes it over, making it so it's kind of pointless. But then they never really learn how to grow the muscle without having the steroids in their system. So it makes it so the easy way becomes the hard way eventually when the price to keep everything and or grow bigger is told by either their body failing or their future being failed for them. because people like this have ended up taking the easy way out, they never really understood what it's like to take the hard way. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to every single one of them, of course, but this is more so along the lines of the people that are, let's say, 1 to 3 years into the game and then think that this is it, that is all that they need to do, and then they hop on or whatever. And this isn't the only example. This is just one of many. There are multiple ways like this. You can see this in the new way people are abusing things like GLP-1 shots and things like that, where they're just making their appetite smaller, but at the end of the day, eventually they're going to have to stop, or else they're just going to be on this thing that is forever. And right now, we don't know the possible side effects of such shots as Ozempic and things like that. I heard one story where this lady couldn't stop shitting herself. That's just one of the issues that could arise from these types of things that you never even know that you're just going to have to deal with. And there are multitudes like that. I think people don't realize that you're going to pay the piper if you take the easy way. It is always how it's going to work. There is no real, true, honest to God shortcut or easy way that isn't some type of a pricey way, whether you pay for it in time, health, or monetarily. Somewhere, some way, you're going to pay for it. Sure, you're going to pay for it if you go through it the hard way, but at least the hard way, you'll understand why it's happening, what's going on, and what is needed to make it so it becomes easier as time progresses, if it can be made easier as time progresses. Unfortunately, a lot of things don't get easier as time progresses, but you grow stronger against the forces that try to make it harder on you and thus make it a more smoother ride for you. You get used to it. Your calloused hands, your ability and knowledge of knowing what to do and where to do it, your ability to do X, Y, and Z, and the confidence that you would have in yourself knowing these things is way more helpful than trying to get to the end with a speedy way there and not realizing any of the steps that you need to do in order to get there effectively. And this also applies to everybody. I don't think that there is a easy street for anybody. Sure, there are people who have, let's say, monetary advancements versus other people. Better. Some people have better genetics. Some people have worse genetics. All those things do play a part in something like this. But also, as well, you have to understand that they have other difficult or hard things to learn their way. And it sounds like, oh, you're being sympathetic to these people. Yes, because they have to deal with other things that other people don't have to deal with. For example, if somebody is rich, you have to figure out whether or not the people that you are surrounding yourself with are actually there for you or your money, which is a weird thing to think about. But I think this is an issue that everybody that has some notoriety or popularity always seems to deal with. And it's a true issue, because then who do you trust? And trust is one of those fundamental things that you can do no matter where you are, that will be difficult, and you will learn the hard way whether or not you should trust somebody or not. It doesn't matter necessarily that you're gaining so much money. Sometimes some people are not trustworthy, so you might as well get them out of your life, but they have to deal with it in the face because people are liars, and then they have to deal with that entire idea. And they either learn the easy way or the hard way. Maybe they surround themselves with a bunch of yes men or pay people off, or maybe they just end up getting shot in the face. One of the two might happen. Who knows? But you never really know until you go through the hard way, right? And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercise not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Got everything in, thankfully. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand here. The hard way. The main reason why I wanted to discuss this was because this was something that I was going to discuss eventually on this channel, just because it is a thing that I feel like most people do not realize is probably going to happen to them. They have to kind of go through the tough times in order to figure out the other side of it. It is very rare where somebody might not go through a tough time somewhere here or there in life. Those are the times that usually make or break people, honestly. But most of the time, people won't really learn their lesson until they go through the hard times. It is very hard for somebody to see themselves going into the abyss or starting the descent into the abyss and then all of a sudden be able to pull themselves away from it immediately. It is very rare where something like that could happen. Honestly, I don't think I've ever really seen it. Most of the time, they fall into the abyss, and sometimes I'll say 50% go through and get out the other side clean. There's another side that get lost in the sauce and stay there forever, and it is what it is. You can't really do much about those people. And it's interesting when, especially, it's like, some of these people, you understand their plight, really, and you just kind of have to see and witness this basic, like, drowning that they're going to have to do, and there's nothing really you can do for it, because if you even try to step in or do anything like that, they're just going to drag you down and take you with them, and it's just a tough situation. But sometimes you kind of just have to let them hope to God that they'll swim up to the top eventually and get out of the mess that they've created themselves in. And it sucks, because sometimes that's the only thing you can do, really, because that's the only way you'll learn a lesson. A lot of people won't learn until they actually do it themselves. Realistically, there are so many things that you can do that could be preventative medicine, but at the end of the day, some things are just going to have to happen. It just is what it is. You can't prepare for every single trouble and or thing that might come up that's going to be a difficult time in your life. You're never going to be able to dodge everything effectively. And if you do dodge everything effectively and never really have any confrontation, if for some reason nature decides that so you have to go through such a tough time, you're going to be ill prepared and fold immediately. So sometimes the tough times can really help, because then you can have a baseline of strength to gather from in order to plow ahead. But some people don't go through that, and then you can see them fold easily, and then when they fold, they're done. Or if you avoid all conflict and or dark times ahead of you, you may have a different issue also ever, which is, what are you doing that you might be avoiding? Like, there could be something that that's lurking in the background that you're just not willing to deal with because it has some level of difficulty associated with it. So there's a lot of stuff that could happen there, and I wanted to talk about it because it is interesting. There's a lot of different ways that this conversation can really go, so I'm very happy that I actually got this out. But I might revisit this topic probably in the future. I don't know when, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. But this was just a introduction / just a discussion about that type of thing, especially because you could see it with others, really. I feel like everybody knows a person that's like that kind of has to, you see them and they're just going through it. And you kind of have to just watch them go through it. There are some people you can watch it go through it and help if you can, but it is a very careful balancing act, because those types of people can be, depending on their type of personality, they can take you down. So just got to be careful about that. And with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one was more of a introspective one, but also looking out in the world about just having to do things in the difficult way and unfortunate reality. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. And actually, it's hot now, so stay cool. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace!